Hello, I am the cartoonist M. Rashid. Today's cartoon was inspired by uh, a combination of a comment that was posted under one of my videos from the other day and the a thread that I was following from something that I said in a previous video, um, pointing out how loud my ideological foes are when they're trying to misdirect, when they're doing their own version, their own sloppy version of the false flag. Okay, first of all, you spent the last 400 years lying to me continuously. I gotta take all your scholarship and stuff with skepticism because you're always lying. So much so that when you tell the truth, it comes across as an accident. So your legendary forked tongue precedes you. Consequently, I cannot believe you when you talk. I can't take you at face value. I gotta filter your stuff through I gotta filter you and shake out the accidental truths that fall out every time you talk. It's the nature of our relationship. Because you lie to me as part of your systemic racism shtick. It's one of the tools you use to maintain your dominance. It's just lie, which is not unusual because history is written by the victors. Victors don't tell pure truth. They hide, they tell half truths, because they want to present themselves as the good guy. That's what you do. And your trail of horrors that make up Western civilization, as you hoard all that is good only for you, and for people who sell out and agree to support your white supremacy with you. So they get a piece, of varying pieces depending on how they fall. For your fellow immigrants, they get, a huge chunk. For those Black Americans who decide to coon out and be among you, and you break off a little here. So you lie. You lie just to practice. That's where all your value systems are. Lying, grifting, stealing. And if people don't fall for it, you just, you're a mess. So, when I find you very loudly saying the exact same thing over and over again, like verbatim from the same script, what does that mean? It's certainly not a truth. What it means is you're misdirecting. You're giving me clues where to look, which is in the opposite direction of whatever lying nonsense you're saying to me. That's how you flow. So, under normal circumstances, you're lying. And during these key moments when you're extra loud and repetitive in a very specific lie, you're giving me clues to look any other way. So, your who's who bullets of political talking points that you say all the time, that includes both sides of the aisle. But the ones who get, the most triggered under my stuff are the conservative side. The other ones, at least, they don't say that much for whatever reason. At first, I was thinking, well, they just don't like to argue because they like hide based on what David Berlinski said about, certain scientists or certain types of theories. They don't argue in public because they know they don't have shit. The people who argue in public are the armchair dumbasses, the priest class of these theories. They argue, but meanwhile, the people they're arguing on behalf of, they're not going to say that shit in public because they know they don't have what they're supposed to have in order for it to be real. This was interesting to me. So when the left among you don't argue, or at least I haven't came across it, it was rare for me. They were like not saying much. I thought that was policy until I broke into a nest of leftists who were real argumentative and talkative. And I'm like, wow, watching them go. They were high ranking enough to make me think that they were, is this a thing? Is this, But I think in their arrogance that these were their version of political activists, and their arguing tactic was bullying. And these are the people who, this particular group, are the this particular group are the these are the ones. You remember the celebrity actor who got busted for cheating her kid into the Ivy League or whatever? That particular group, the people that were the nest that Nicole Hannah-Jones was beaten on when she was like looking dead at the white liberals who were like segregating those schools. That particular group are the ones who were being all loud in their activism. Okay. All right. I'm going to dial back a little because I want to explore that somewhere else. Let me go back to my making fun of the conservative guys. All right, so you are very loudly saying a very specific list of talking points that are verbatim. You say the exact same way across all social media, across all platforms. You say, let's say, you might as well be Jehovah's Witnesses, just repeating verbatim stuff right off the track. Loud. So for someone committed to lying as a virtue, how am I supposed to interpret that? While you think you're being all clever. The 4chan guys are insisting that they're like, the only people doing racism are the Jews. Saying nonsense. Yet here I find you performing in the way that you like always yelling at them about, but you're doing the exact same stuff. So why am I, you're just bad at it. You just suck at it, sloppy, while yelling at them for doing stuff that you are in my face doing every day. Like the entire list of stuff you complain about them, you do. So do you worship the patriarchy, the nationality? Like, of course you do. That's all you care about. Do you consider yourself the chosen people of whatever deity like you worship this week? Of course you do. Do you act like your shit don't stink like way they act? Yes, you do. Especially when you're around me. That's why you keep me around, so you can like strut about like a fake lord in the earth, just like they do. So, so the entire point of your bickering with them is no different than how the Republicans and Democrats act among each other. It's like y'all are a bipartisan, racist edifice leaning towards the exact same goals, and the nature of your bickering is the loser in the bickering competition wants a little bit more than he gets. That's the nature of your bickering. It's like nonsense sibling rivalry foolishness that doesn't mean anything to me. Yet you, under my stuff, you keep, when will you realize that the Jews aren't white? Of course they are. White is not a race. The word you're looking for is the now apparently out of favor Caucasoid. Get your word. That's you. That's your race word, your biological race word. Caucasian Caucasoid. That's what you're looking for. White, often used synonymous with it, doesn't mean that. White is an economic, political identity. It's not a race. Usage over time makes it, you've been using it that way. But black and white are economic, caste system, political identities you established. The other thing that you established was clearly for the biological fake science race stuff. Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid. That's what that was. Words mean stuff. You already established what that was. How does it benefit me to just take at your word, the most lying piece of crap in the universe, and just at face value, just take what you say at me? Stop posting your nonsense under my stuff with the intention of trying to sway me. I have zero respect for you. Shut up. Don't just be posting that stuff like it's a thing. It's not a thing. Stuff means stuff. When you say stuff, it means stuff. That stuff is already established. You're gonna lie with purpose and with gusto and meaning, and try get your game up. Try harder. If you're not up for it, wait for the higher ranking guy to do it then, and stay the mess off my stuff. This one here, he's posting this thing about the BLM under my thing, and he's like, then why is BLM? Why do I care about BLM? Why do I care? What does that have to do with me? Which one of my videos or cartoons am I praising BLM on? Maybe you can go back far enough before that whole bamboozle came up, and you'll think. But my stuff in a linear line of where you could see me studying stuff and learning new stuff and changing, the fact that my character isn't wearing the red, black, and green anymore is your first clue. Dig way back in the past and find something where I have my kid holding up a sign that has BLM on it. It has nothing to do with what the sign was on today. I've learned much. So you can keep up or stay back there and look stupid. BLM is not my group. I don't care about them. Let me help you. President Obama, when he was asked to support gay marriage and stuff like that, and he was like, what? No, it's crazy. And then they got mad, and then they showed up in force with their, the protected class civil rights talk and like pushed them and moved them around and said, we can like manipulate the Black Americans to take the vote from you if you don't do what we say. And he's like, all right. You got your gay marriage. And they were like, good. Or whatever. However it actually went. So when he now has that in his pocket after that. So he has to like be the champion of the LGBT and all that stuff. So he's like, knows that they didn't have the numbers to do what they needed, so he needs, like everybody else, to use the Black Americans' dormant, disenfranchised vote as the mule for, him to fulfill his promise to the LGBT. So when the founders of the actual group, Black Lives Matter, showed up, and they were like wanted to have an audience with the president and like get some stuff done, he saw that as his opportunity. He was like, sure, come on in. Like, that was he. Hey, your proposal looks good. Yeah, this is how we're gonna work this. I'll, break you off a little piece of something to legitimize you, and in exchange, I want you to let go of the race thing and replace your entire platform with support for the LGBT. You can use Black tragedy as your marketing campaign, but don't give Black Americans nothing. You're going to use your full BLM thing to support the LGBT community. Deal? And they said, well, okay. And a legend was born. BLM has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with the ADOS. So stop conflating the two. That's even worse than conflating ADOS with Tyreek's thing, the FBA and the B1 and stuff. It has nothing to do with ADOS. It has nothing to do with me. My platform is firmly anti-racism. That's where I sit. Anti-racism, pro-Black family. That's it. So you can stop putting BLM at me like it's, well, what about BLM? Learn something, pay more attention so that you can tailor your message to actually make sense and stop being dumb. Thanks. Peace.